Hi guys! Welcome back to another episode of Literary Literature. Today I'm comparing The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston to the story it was based on, Mark Twain's The Prince and the Pauper. It's time to summarize! For those new to my podcast, this is where I explain the main plotline. If you haven't had the pleasure of reading either novel, be warned, this will include major spoilers. In the original story, Tom, a peasant, wants to become a real prince. One day he meets Prince Edward, who wishes he has the freedom Tom has. They decide to trade places by swapping clothes. It's not long before Tom becomes bored in the prince's room, alone, and begs to go back. The court, however, believes Prince Edward has gone, excuse my Spanish, un poco loco. The real prince, on the other hand, meets Tom's alcoholic and abusive father, but also fails to convince him he is the real prince. The king dies and Tom is due to be made king. Edward interrupts the coronation and produces a scroll that only the real prince would have. They trade places and King Edward rules fairer, having seen the inequality in the world. The moral of this story is to not judge a book by its cover. The Princess and the Fangirl changes the original story by empowering women. It focuses on Imogen, who wants to save her favourite character, Amara, from being killed off in the remake of her favourite TV show. Unfortunately, the actress of Amara, Jessica, hates the show. The script for the next season is leaked, and Imogen and Jess decide to trade places so Jess can find out who leaked the script without the paparazzi and fans harassing her. Fans quickly take a liking to the new Imogen Jess, as she's less self-absorbed and callous. Jess discovers that the producer leaked the script for publicity. They swap back, and Jessica apologizes to her fans in a heartwarming speech. A little background on the authors. The Prince and the Pauper is a novel written by Mark Twain in 1881. He has a sarcastic, ironic, and blunt take on this story. An example of this is the quote, "One summer's day he saw poor Anne Askew and 3 men burned at the stake in Smithfield, and heard an ex-bishop preach a sermon to them which did not interest him. Yeah, Tom's life was varied and pleasant enough, on the whole," which draws attention to just how unpleasant Tom's life is. Ashley Poston, in contrast, is witty and heartfelt and genuine. This can be seen with the quote, "We all deserve to be happy and love what we love and be unironically enthusiastic about it." This change in tone moves the story from a critical satire to a story of hope. She wrote the novel in 2019, and the setting of The Princess and the Fangirl was modernised and moved to the fictional Excelsicon to match the author's own experience at anime and comic conventions. On language, Twain uses highly descriptive 16th century English and a third-person omnipresent narrator. This can be seen in the quote, "What dost thou know of suffering and oppression? I and my people know, but not thou." He sets the story in past tense and uses vivid descriptions and imagery to set a mood. This allows him to easily switch from Tom's situation to the prince's and make use of dramatic irony. The audience knows that the two have swapped clothes, but the other characters aren't aware of this. Poston, in contrast, writes in modern prose and makes many pop culture references to set the scene in Excelsicon. An example of this is, "How dare you compare me to that marshmallow trash? I'm Slytherin, born and bred." This shows the characters' bitterness as well as their knowledge of the Harry Potter series. Using multiple first-person viewpoints allows the audience to connect with the characters and adds tension because it withholds information that the narrator doesn't know. Poston uses a gender lens to empower women. She changes the gender of the two main characters from male to female, which adds diversity to the original story, which has a notable lack of women. Even the fictional character Amara fights archetypes by not needing a man to save her. Poston changes this to focus on how harsh fans can be on actors, especially women. A prominent example of this is Jess's quote, "Your hot take shouldn't dehumanize me or tell me that I'm wrong or that I'm worthless or a slut who slept on some casting couch for the role." This criticizes how harsh fans can be on actresses. Clothing is used in The Prince and the Pauper to symbolize status, wealth, and power. As such, when Tom and Edward swap clothes, they in turn swap their roles in society. This exemplifies the idioms, "you shouldn't judge a book by its cover," and "the grass is greener on the other side," as well as criticizing social inequity. Amara's dress is a recurring motif in The Princess and the Fangirl. It is used to show Jess's transformation of self into overcoming her fear of not living up to expectations. The dress symbolises many things. At the start, Jess sees it as criticism, beauty standards, expectations, and the past coming back to haunt her. She believes she will never live up to the bar that the original actress of Amara set, and hence is dissatisfied with her role in the series. When Jess overcomes her fear of failure and letting the fans down, she's comfortable in the dress, and it changes to represent power and bravery and resilience. By the end, she tells the crowd, Amara belongs to no man and no king, and she certainly doesn't belong to you. What a change of character! Both stories effectively get across their message. Twain criticises socio-economic classes, while Poston draws attention to the criticism of actresses. By using a gender lens, the focus is successfully pulled towards women's role in society and away from money and power. This changes the audience from children, as per the original, to young adults by adding what so many teens desperately crave: diversity and representation. That's it. Thanks for tuning into this week's episode. Bye!